There are we. Hello guys, we're live again. Back to the third episode of the DroPodcast, the talk show for Planetside 2. And let me quickly dial down the music. And we got some old guests and some new guests. And I think you already know Brethnew. You might already know SpartanSlash. But Mr. Tell is completely new. Could you maybe tell a bit about yourself, Tell?
So, hello everyone. Yeah, I'm Tal. Who am I? I'm someone that comes from Cobalt originally. I play Planetside. I make videos on YouTube. I'm more of a Shoody man's person. I like to be a good man, good planet man. So I try to improve. I haven't really been about all that content creation in the, how to play or how to set up your things in the game, but maybe we get it in the future. But yeah, that's me basically.
You made some amazing compilations on YouTube.
Well,
Are you going to make more of those in the future, or?
Yeah, obviously. I'm just gonna get clips from streaming or from playing off stream, and I'm gonna cut them up and paste them together and make some stuff out of it. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's Mr. Tell. Spartan, can you tell a bit about yourself again?
Well, I'm Spartan. I do YouTube, and I'm starting a bit of Twitch here. Actually, Faber's going to help me set up my OBS after this so I can do that. But yeah, I do all sorts of stuff. I do a bunch of Planetside. More recently, I've been getting some recordings in for that. I do Star Citizen as well. That's kind of one of the things I enjoy. The picture that my profile picture and all that, or Star Citizen, stuff like that. But I do content creation on YouTube. Possibly some more stuff on that. I'm considering creating a second channel specifically for kind of cinematic videos and stuff like that.
Cinematics,
That's
okay.
just something I'm thinking about. I also got a new mic, so hopefully better audio quality. That should be good.
Okay, and Brethnew, what do you do?
Yeah, I do YouTube. I do Twitch. I'm here because I've been playing Planetside for 6 years, like casually, not like super hardcore or anything. But I'm just here to talk about Planetside, really. And other than doing highlight videos on YouTube, I do like my thoughts on stuff kind of videos. I'm not super huge, but I hope that this becomes a job eventually. Okay,
so very ambitious. Nice. When can you find you? On Twitch mostly?
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday if my internet is up, because it wasn't on Friday.
Okay, that's always a problem, of course.
Yeah.
For the guys listening right now, we're also planning on putting this podcast on iTunes or Spotify or whatever. Still doubting where to exactly put it. But it will be an audio-only version. So if you're on the road or doing anything, you can still listen. And Brethnew, are we working on a website or is it up already?
No, I'm just doing like a quick blog kind of thing, just to log how many we've done and stuff like that. It's not super public right now. I'm still working on it. It's on Blogspot, so they have just standard user interface stuff.
Okay, so blog is coming soon. Okay, that's enough for the start for right now. We got some amazing subjects for today. And the first one is DX11, because right now Planetside 2 is running on DX 9, a pretty old engine.
To say the least.
Yeah, it's already made actually in 2002, if I'm correct. So it's very, very old.
Yes. To be fair, the game looks really good for a DirectX 9 game, though. Like, on ultra settings, it looks fairly good.
I was playing on high today. I turned motion blur on too, and then, turned off my HUD and was walking around, and it's just beautiful. There's some amazing. I mean, for a DirectX 9 2012 game, like there's the explosions and the the skybox even, and the reflections and even the textures too are just stunning.
You turned motion blur on?
Wow.
I did, because it's cinematic. I really like. Also, it's motion blur either way. If I turn it off, my 60 hertz monitor still gives me motion blur. So, I just turned it on because, I mean, cinematically, it makes it look just really good. It's not good for, I mean, getting kills at all, but it looks cool. Yeah. But it's, for a DirectX 9 game, it is beautiful.
Yes.
But I think they might be able to bring on some more
frames.
Improve the look of the game.
Some more frames.
Frames.
And some more frames, yeah. Frames would be nice.
Please, Rel.
I mean, I would love it to just turn on some shadows to at least, and don't have like lose like 50 frames.
Yeah.
The dream for me at least.
I've also noticed one thing in it where if you're on high settings and you turn off the shadows, the sun will beam through buildings and stuff. And you'll get the glow of the sun, yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's a setting where you have to. I don't really know what the setting is called or what you have to do with it, because I play on potato setting anyway with like 200 render distance. But there is a setting which you have to adjust to make it so that buildings block the sun. Otherwise, you will get this stupid glare all the time. Even when you turn it off, it's just weird.
What I'm hoping for in DirectX 11 is better consistency between fights. Like, you get the small fights and the game runs excellent, and then you get the big fights and the game just craps out. Like, you can't see anything, and it's a stop motion version of the game.
Well, yeah, but I don't really know how they are gonna circumvent that, because I think it's a thing with all the the amount of players in one area that are on your screen.
Yeah.
The CPU, I don't know how they're gonna do it with DirectX 11, but the PC has to figure this all out, and it's not really like in Battlefield where it's like 63 other people and like a building that is going down.
Yeah.
Like 20 explosions and 200 players. So,
yeah.
But if there's even 20, what they said, maybe 20 more FPS or a 10% increase, that would already be huge.
Yeah, that's true.
The thing is with DirectX is that right now with 9, it only depends on 2 cores mostly. So if you go on your task manager and you play the game, you will see that core 1 and core 2. If you have at least 2 cores, I hope, then
otherwise you can't even run this game.
Yeah.
You'd be running Google Chrome if you only had 1 core.
Oh really? Ugh. At least those DirectX 9 that's only working with 2. DirectX 11 should work with 4 already if they implement it well. So if you have 4 cores, which I still hope everyone has.
Yeah. Yes, and then like 8 threads and stuff.
Yeah. So it should scale better with more cores, and that should always make it possible to have more people on the same battlefield, or to push more frames with more people. Let's say.
Yes.
Yeah, like when they were making DirectX 9, they thought core speed was just going to increase in the future, but then it ended up just people piled on more cores, right? So they had to come up with new technology.
It's a bit like Moore's law, They thought that every 2 years the chip density of like say Intel Core processors would double in 2 years, but that didn't really last for more than 50 years. So right now it is more cores and not more clock speeds, like you say.
Yeah.
This is getting technical.
Yeah. But that's good.
But you guys, do you really think that right now the state of the game is unplayable? Because I had a comment today that the game, people can't recommend to play the game right now because it runs like shit.
Yeah,
is it that bad?
That's an over-exaggeration in my opinion.
I kind of hear it. Like, I get where they're coming from.
What have they tried?
In the big battles, totally.
Yeah, in the large fights, nothing happens in the large fights. Like, everything is happening, but I mean, on your screen, it feels like nothing is happening, but then you die.
You don't really get that feel of scale because
Yeah.
getting a PowerPoint presentation of Planetside.
Yeah.
It's Planetside PowerPoint, so it's PowerPoint
Yeah.
too. But
Mm,
yeah, I mean, I can totally see where people are coming from with that. But if you can find those smaller fights and you can still get those good small fights, you can have a lot of fun and get consistent frame rate on decently medium to high quality too. I mean, the good news is, of course, DirectX 11 will definitely boost frames. And I think it's just those extra frames that are being boosted that'll just kind of extend the game's lifespan a lot farther.
I hope so. But I think it's not only dependent on the frame rate or the playability of the game itself. So that just if you don't, you know, get the other players into the whole mix. If you just focus on the game, I don't think it's only that makes the game playable or unplayable. I think like if you're not in the biggest of battles, then it's definitely playable. I mean, maybe if you have an old PC or something, or like like an old CPU that is really not up to date with today's hardware, then it's maybe unplayable. I think if you have a PC from the last 2 years that is decent, even a low-end PC can handle Planetside nowadays. So I think people that just shout, "Oh, this game is unplayable," try with this, look to the settings and maybe look at your INI. But the thing is, with most people don't know about this because they never tried it or they haven't gotten any direction from veteran players that have fiddled with these things or look deeper into the game and how it works. So I think it's important to have a look at what the game actually is capable or not capable of, and then have make an assessment on top of that, and not just say, "Oh, the game is unplayable because I died 10 times in a row," because I feel that's what's happening a lot as well.
Well, we're also kind of spoiled with the games nowadays. Like every game runs well because it doesn't have that scale, but also people are used to more advanced graphic settings.
People are used to Battlefield 5 at 200 frames per second, and when they get 60 frames in Planetside 2, they're like, "This is horrible. How is this happening?
Yeah.
Like, this is an old game. I should be getting 400 frames in this. This doesn't make sense." And like, that's the thing is too, when Planetside 2 came out, I think one of the reasons it probably didn't do as well is just it was more of an unplayable state then because of the scale and because nobody had ray tracing capable graphics card back then. So it was hard to run then, and as technology's improved, frame rates improved, and now with DirectX 11, frame rate will improve even more, and definitely allow the game to kind of continue expanding, and I could probably get big graphics updates as well.
Hopefully. I mean, more features would be nice. Like, better anti-aliasing would be nice.
What even is that?
You don't know what anti-aliasing is?
I always see it in in settings, and I just turn it off because I don't know what I have no clue.
Oh, anti-aliasing. You know how your screen has pixels?
Yeah, I know that.
It makes it so that diagonal lines and stuff aren't pixelated.
Yeah. Okay.
I had this discussion about the frame rate. I think the frame rate itself is pretty good, but the hit registration of the game isn't
the hit registration is
the
awful.
best. What do you think about it, Tel? What's the worst? Is it the hit registration or the frames in this game?
It's a balance. I think frame rate is not too bad, but it's bad when there's a lot of players in one hex, and it also fluctuates too much. It should be more stable, but I don't know how achievable this is with the amount of players that can vary in certain map or certain area.
Is hit registration is hit registration client side or server side in Planetside?
It's
Client side.
client side.
It's client
Client-side.
side from
So
the meme.
in that case,
That's
the
why you
client has
die
to-
around corners.
Yeah, because the client has to register the hit and send it
Yeah.
to the server,
Yeah.
and then send it back to everyone's clients. So that's
So-
probably part of the problem. Is if that
Well,
was changed to being server based.
That's not really the issue with hitreg. Well, that's obviously an issue. Well,
Yeah, it's not the main issue, of course.
the thing is that people don't know what client side is, and so hitreg is one thing, client side is another thing, but it's hand in hand. So
Mhm.
the thing is with client side is just that you know how to use it to your advantage, because it's not something. The client side in itself, if the ping is stable, which obviously is not because the servers are terrible, but if theoretically if this game had a stable ping, server ping, then the client side, if you know how to use it, you can turn it into your advantage. Because if you peek with someone, you see them on your screen first, and they see it like 200 milliseconds later. So you can shoot him in the head for a bullet, boom, he's dead, and he barely sees you. But the thing with the hit reg is that if you are, for instance, if I'm playing on Emerald, then it takes a lot longer for my bullet. It takes a lot longer, and it's weird because for some people the hit reg is awful on Emerald, and for me it's pretty nice. But for SimpleNup, a guy I regularly play with, it's really awful. And when he plays on Jaeger or we play on Emerald together, he always complains about the hit reg, and I have little to no issue. So it's just weird. The game is just weird, and the servers are even weirder.
In like an ideal state, huh? How much time? How long is the time to kill with a gold saw?
Gotcha.
Like 3 bullets to a head? Is it not like within 1 second?
Oh yeah. Most weapons. I think in the max damage range take like 0.5 seconds or something if you shoot the body.
The body,
But,
okay.
yeah, but the Gauss saw is I don't know. It's 3 headshots at any range. You just have to multiply the what is it? I'm not good with math.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just
But
have
if
to
you
multiply the rate of fire and the damage, and then when it's 1,000 damage, it's that's the kill.
okay, but it's within 1 second, so that 200 milliseconds delay is actually very important in this game, right?
Well,
yeah,
yes.
I would say so.
If
In
you
every
have-
FPS,
yeah.
really.
Yeah, okay.
But in Planetside, it's just even more important because you have the client side to your advantage if you peek. And yeah, so if you have 200 milliseconds, you kill someone in like maybe 200 milliseconds. If you
Within
hit
like the blink of
headshots.
an eye, yeah.
Yeah, if you hit all headshots, if you give him 4 headshots, he's dead before he knows it. But if you run away when he's not dead, he can still shoot you for 200 milliseconds, and that's why you die around the corner. And that's why so many new people get frustrated and just quit because they don't know this. They have no clue about it, and they think, there's a hacker, he can shoot me through a wall. No, that's not what's happening. Just don't know it, and yeah. So GG.
That's also a problem, I think, with like the engine. There's no death cam right now, right? No way to look how you died.
Yeah.
That's true. But I don't think it's that. That's not one of the problems. I think the problem. Well, one of the things is that I feel, and I haven't done any research into this, obviously, but I think that the attention span of gamers is so short because if you look at games in the past, even if you look at FPS games, they were a lot slower. Not Quake, but if you look at Halo, for instance, it was a lot slower. The time to kill was a lot longer. And nowadays it's jetpacks and wall running and all this grappling hooks, whatever, and you kill someone in this in the blink of an eye. And when the next rage is coming on, like Fortnite and now all this Apex Legends stuff, it shifts away again. And if that game, I think, wouldn't make that much of a difference. I think the development time is much better spent on things like DirectX 11, improving the the actual game. You know, improve it. Don't make stupid decisions like Combined Arms Initiative. You know, a year and a half ago. Ask the player base for things to do, and they, you know, the veteran players that played 2,000, 3,000, maybe even 6,000 hours, they will know much better what we can do with this game than, you know, some
Mhm.
guy that gets frustrated because he dies to playing. So
But let's say that that cam is already in a quite polished state. It's ready to roll out. Because I say Kavaka says in the chat that they had that cam in the earliest videos, so maybe in the beta or anything. But they disabled it due to whatever reason. Would you mind if it will be that cam in the game? If they would add it?
I think it'd be nice. You'd be able to, you know, forget about the fact that the player deaths are still animated, which is kind of old for most games, but you'd kind of be able to, you know, if you're getting repeatedly killed by the same person, you want to know where they're from. It would also probably make infiltrators a bit less, you know, OP, because you'd be able to know where they were from. Because, I mean, but then as an infiltrator, you need to know that that person I just killed knows where I am now. I need to move. So infiltrators aren't camping the same spots repeatedly. People know where they are. So it would probably move the battle a bit more instead of like, oh, well, I'm trying to get through this doorway, but every time I go through, I'm sniped by the same person, and I don't know where they're at. But once you know where they are, you can, you know, change the battle up by getting rid of them, and they'll have to move to consider that.
I think the quote unquote death cam that they currently have implemented in the game is good enough. Like, you know, when you die and then it tells you the general direction and stuff, and if it's close enough, exactly where they were.
I don't know. I never looked at it.
I think that's good
even
enough.
not in the early stages in the game. And I also think that if you die 5 times in a row to a guy that snipes you in the doorway, then a death cam wouldn't help you.
Yeah.
No.
If you know that there's a sniper looking at the doorway and he shoots you 4 times in the head, then maybe there's a thought in your head that you should do it from another side. So I think that is also a bit of, you know, I'm not want to say good scrub or anything, but at the same time, it's just common sense, you know. If you do something wrong 4 times in a row in life, then you look at, okay, what did I do wrong? What failed? What can I do to solve it? And then let's do it in a, you know, take another approach. You know, take the stairs.
Okay,
you know,
but this is a
balcony.
It's a good discussion, but let's say Planetside is more than just Planetside 2. In the future, also you've got Planetside Arena with a Battle Royale mode, and there is no way to come back after you died in a Battle Royale game. But let's say you died in a quite cheeky way thanks to Sniper. You can't re-roll in the same game, so I would like to watch how I died. That's why I wish they would like implement at least some sort of that cam.
It would help people to find, you know, if someone's hacking.
Also, yeah.
Because you'd be able to tell, like, for example, in CSGO, when it puts that death cam, you can definitely tell if someone did something really fishy. And it kind of irons out people trying to do, like, even trying stuff like that, because it's easy to tell if they were doing it or not.
I was being stream sniped by a hacker yesterday, Saturday, yeah. And I saw him flying through the walls, but yeah, I couldn't really report him or anything. Or I did have some evidence, of course, because I was streaming. But if I was not streaming, I would have actually had no evidence that he was just completely hacking.
But how do you know someone is hacking then?
If he was flying through the skies and you know, popping up through the ground and stuff, that's...
In that case, that's like blatantly no clip. He's just blatantly no clipping. He does not care at that point. He's just doing it.
Yeah,
so you kind of gotta. You gotta. I mean, there's some cases where it's like maybe he could be, but he might just be good, or he's getting lucky, or his internet's different, and
the clumsy player, actually.
Something's not registering right or something like that. But like, and then there's some cases like what Faber was saying, where it's just obvious. And in those cases, you kind of have to decide do I want to report this player and try to like show evidence and stuff, or I just want to leave it, depending on what they're doing and the severity of it.
I have to say, most of the time I don't even take the time to report him because I know they can just make another account. So
Yeah,
exactly.
whatever, what does it
It's
matter?
free. It's a free game.
Is
Yeah.
it like an IP lock or no? Right?
Not anymore. They took that away because
Oh.
players were exploiting it. I think there
Yeah.
was a thing where they had it where it locked you out, but then players were basically going on servers and only aiming to get headshots. So they'd sit there on a server and like basically always get headshots and not get any body shots. Just specifically try to do that, and get a bunch of kills with it. Like good players would do that, and then they get their accounts banned.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they'd go complain like, "Hey, I wasn't hacking. I got my account banned." So they had to take the system away because people were teasing the system
like
to get it removed, or just to mess with it at least. So it got taken away.
Mm-hmm.
It's
But
always a
it's just
fight
like
against
that
cheaters
work.
and hackers and stuff. I've heard they brought a new game, Metro Exodus, and it has like this DRM, de novo,
Oh, does it?
and it was hacked within 2 weeks, so they could play the
That's
game
still
already.
pretty long though. That's still pretty long. Most of the games get like cracked before launch or like a couple of hours in.
Yeah, but
2
this
weeks is
was
still pretty long.
the thing is also with those DRMs that they apparently also limit the frames, and it just hurts the performance of the game in general. So why
I'm
even
against
bother?
VR in any
Yeah, that
way.
would not
VR
be
is
nice
just
to have in Planetside too. Frames are already a problem. I don't think we need more.
No.
More things than needing frame rates.
and
Yeah.
why would they even implement DRM? This just
Not
No,
for
the
Planetside
game-
2, but
okay.
maybe for Planetside Arena. I actually want to go to a new
No.
topic because
Yeah, good idea.
Planetside Arena, had a refund, or there should have been a refund, because they want to shift the
Yeah.
focus from Battle Royale to, let's say, Team Deathmatch, whatever.
Mhm. Yeah.
More than just Battle Royale, more than Apex.
Yeah.
I actually have a thought
yeah.
on that. Do you think they could do it where, similar to how Fortnite has their Battle Royale free and their other game mode paid? I wonder if they could have that Battle Royale mode be free to like get people into the game,
Oh.
and then have things like, or maybe have like just the first two modes have Massive Clash and Battle Royale be free, and then throw in the other game modes as you have to buy into those. I wonder if they could do that to have a free release, but then at the same time still keep up a battle pass and be able to purchase other stuff, such as
I don't know.
those game modes. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, it makes sense, but it'd eventually probably do what the Battlefield series used to do. It would just destroy the player base, because when
Well,
people
it's-
got the new DLC, they'd move on and not play the old maps. People on the old maps who didn't buy the new DLC would have no one to play with. So,
Well,
can't really have that if the player base isn't very big.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
split them up.
in itself, it sounds nice, right? Okay, so
Mhm.
everyone can play this. It's nice. Everyone can get in, and then if they like it, they can buy it. But the thing is, there's already Apex Legends now, and Fortnite is already still really big, even though it's declining because of Apex Legends. But there's already two big BRs on the market, and I don't know if people are really that excited for another BR, even though it's free. So I don't even know if VR makes sense. Maybe it's good to say, okay, we have a VR, and all the kids are gonna like, ooh, VR, and then it gets players. But I think making it free, the whole game would be free is better, because then it's actually a full product, and people stick around for longer because there's more to play. And also with like, if you have a bigger than 3 squads, or than 3 players in a squad, if you're playing with 6 players, for instance, then you can play the TDM. And otherwise, there's like, okay, we can't really play it. Let's go play whatever. I don't know, Rainbow Six or something. if you're in a more than 3 players. So yeah.
Okay, but to get back to the refund topic,
Yes.
there was a post on Reddit on which they asked actually to the dev team more or less, do I have to refund or can I keep the refund on Steam? I keep the pre-order on Steam. And then there was a bit of a strange reaction from Roxley. Roxley is the community manager, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's community manager.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and she said, yeah, we're not going to do it for you, so you have to do it manually.
Yeah.
And earlier they said they
Oh.
will do it automatically. So if you pre-ordered, you have to do it automatically. Actually, not manually. You have to go to the Steam site and then it will happen.
Let me see.
And then they also said that you can also just keep the pre-order. What sounds to me, if they still want to go with the pay-to-play mechanic, which would be strange, right? Why would you otherwise go to the refund? I see a question for the topic. I will post a link in the chat right now. Let me get it. It's on the Planetside Arena Reddit, Jess. Do you guys look often on the Reddit pages of Planetside or Planetside Arena?
I skim every once in a while.
Same. I've been on there a few times to just, check it out.
Same.
Not
I
too
look at
much,
it.
though.
Planetside, but not really Planetside Arena. It's basically still Planetside for me. But Planetside 2.
Wait, why would we have to manually ask for a refund?
So I'll just quote her for like a minute.
It's quite logical, actually.
I
Why
assume
they
you'd have
would
to
do it
go
like
into
this.
Steam and hit a refund button.
Oh.
Okay, what she actually says, if somebody asked, her dev letter left me with the impression that all the refunds will be automated. And then Roxy replies, I will see if we can get the wording clarified on that. It was original intention with Steam, but it's something that they weren't able to set up. So it is maybe a mistake with Steam.
Yeah, because I don't know if... I know the Steam's policy is you can refund any game if you've played under 2 hours. But like me personally, I have 9 hours in the game, so I won't be able to do that. So I assume they'll have to,
you can. They're refunding all purchases, which is good.
Which is nice. I assume some people will keep their copy, specifically to just continue to help out the game. There's some people that would rather leave their money in the game, try to take it out.
So what would there be a benefit to leaving your money in the game then?
Only if they are going to do another pay-to-play game. That's my only guess. So that's a strange thing.
That's a really unorthodox way to refund people.
I don't get it with the whole marketing and advertisement of this Planetside Daybreak thing. It's always like this, I feel. The advertising is just not there. There's no hype, there's no... And also on this subject, there is no clear... there's no clear direction going on. Are we gonna refund? Yes. And then after a couple of weeks, oh, you have to do it yourself. Is it going pay to play or free to play? We don't know. It's if they want to make a game that's being played, they have to do something about it. Have some hype. Advertise it. Make people have a clue what's going on, because it's just not there, in my opinion. If you look on Twitter, it's just some dumb stuff like, oh, Rel is gonna retexture this this engineer thing. There's no problem with that. Point your dev time at something else. I don't understand it. What they are doing there.
I don't know what they're doing. I mean, we were supposed to get the founder season like 4 days ago, right?
Yeah.
We never got the founder season, and we haven't even gotten beta sessions since then. There's been absolutely no communication either. They haven't said that we're working on this or here's the progress. There's been no more inside the arena.
There's nothing.
Developer videos. There's been no updates. I assume that they're restarting their entire marketing campaign. Maybe
I hope so.
2 months before the game release, before they're intended to release it. I assume they'd restart marketing because of I'm pulling the money. I'm assuming that's why they're giving refunds in the first place, or one of the reasons they might be giving refunds is to
if they are even doing it.
But at the same time, what are they doing? Are they on
Yeah.
vacation? Are they just having a fun day? I don't know what they're doing.
I don't get it. It's important for them to ride around in a tricycle in their office, but actually developing a nice, actually advertising the game. Roxley is a community manager. She is a community manager, and I haven't seen really much community management from Daybreak. Not to trash talk but it's what I see. It's an observation. There has not been good community management or good communication. It's just not there. So, and if they can make the best game in the world, but if they are not going to tell people, hey, we have made this game, it's good, we like it, we're actually excited about it, then it's not going to be played, and it doesn't show. They're not excited. It's some weird acting in the Planetside Arena dev team. No, get some momentum.
Seems like most of their advertising has been on Twitter as well, which is not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, and they
have advertising on YouTube and even like simple. I've seen they have an Instagram and they just post like screenshots from the trailer.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Do you have an
That
Instagram?
was on the Twitter as well.
Screenshots from the trailer, and all they say is like, "You can do this in Planetside Arena," and it's like
in 5
really
months.
cliche, and they do it every few days, and it's like, no, that's not advertising.
Yeah,
that's the same thing you posted a week ago. It's just a different picture.
Yeah, exactly. And then another thing I don't understand is they make a new account for Planetside Arena on Twitter and on YouTube. And why not? I mean, I don't really know. Well, how big is the Daybreak Games Twitter? There's already a couple. Yeah, but it's still bigger than a couple of hundred people that follow Planetside Arena, right? So Daybreak Games. Let's see. Daybreak Games has 112,000 followers, and Planetside Arena. Okay, let's see. Planetside Arena has 2,960 followers. I guess that you can get more people to watch your trailer if you get the the trailer on Daybreak Games, not on Planetside Arena, and also not on the Planetside Arena YouTube. And if you make a new account for all these things, then make sure that there is some kind of cohesion between multiple services or multiple outlets. Make sure that people know about it, get something going for it, and not because it looks very amateuristic.
Yeah, to be fair to Roxley, she actually only is a Planetside 2 community manager. I think she just was like told, Roxy, can you please also manage Planetside Arena for a few days? Thank you. And then she just suddenly had to also do Planetside Arena, which was not her task. So we can't really blame her.
Then whose task is it? That's
even the
worse.
problem. I think Daybreak Games doesn't even know themselves. I don't even think they know they have a problem.
Yeah, it's probably that because they didn't think they have a problem with Combined Arms Initiative. Rel is still memeing about Falcon Nerf a year and a half after it has been implemented, and he, it looks as if they just, they put these things on their eyes, when horses ride with the carriage, they have these things next to their eyes.
Yes.
Okay, we're just looking to Planetside Arena and Combined Arms Initiative, just going forward. And all the people, all the vehicle players that leave left and right, they can't see it because they have these flaps to the left and right of their eyes. And everyone is leaving, and Rel is saying, oh, a stray dog is going to ruin your day. Come on, man.
I've seen a comment from Kavaka with a question. Has Daybreak Games ever made a game before? Or just modify the same old as a Wii catalog they have been maintaining for over years? It is completely true. I think Planetside Arena is their first ever game they are going to release as a company.
Well, ever game is like half, 75% old asset. So
and probably, probably they still have a lot of the same team members. But This will be their first real release as a new game.
I thought
Yeah.
H1Z1 was their first release, or
Oh,
that was
yeah.
Sony.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Good question.
I thought they did have H1Z1 as their.
Yeah, but look how that went.
Make that one.
I mean, that's not really promising to, look at H1Z1 and then think, okay, we will be fine.
Well,
Because
yeah.
that game is not fine. That game is, it was huge at like a certain point when Ninja got disrespect and all those streamers were playing it, but then they apparently it has been the same thing like with Planetside. They didn't listen to the community. They thought, let's make a big esports thing out of it. They promised all these, prize money, prize pools, and big things, and then the player base dropped. There was no microtransactions were being sold anymore. The game went free to play. They had to cancel all the competitive stuff, and everyone was sad. So if you make a new game, make it a good game, and then the rest will follow. Make a good game, advertise it, and if people are actually that interested in it to make a competitive scene out of it, then you can capitalize on it. But you don't make a game and say this is going to be an esports thing, and then people are not going to play it, and it just sucks. So they need to get their what is it? Their
The shit together.
well, I mean they need to prioritize. That's what I want.
Okay.
They need to they need to have a order in what they want to do first. Second. Then it goes. They need to get it together there. Make it work, Daybreak, please. I love Planetside.
Okay, we have had our Planetside Arena sold. I think it's time to go to some good things, because there are some good things happening in the Planetside 2 spheres, and that's mostly the reversion of the Combined Arms initiative. And finally, people have the feeling developers are listening to the wishes of the community, at least. Can somebody can you maybe tell us what's happening with the Combined Arms initiative? What's going to, at least, what's the problem?
Well, first, what is the Combined Arms initiative? Because I never followed the news or the patch notes when it was released.
Okay.
And I didn't ever feel a difference in gameplay. So
it's pretty big. What Combined Arms Initiative did, I'm not a vehicle player, by the way, so I'm not like if you really want to know the ins and outs of it, you have to talk to somebody else. But as far as I know, what happened is they they lengthened the time to kill on vehicles, so there's no more quick in and out tank battle. There's no more liquidity in there. It's not, oh, I'm gonna get a flank, I'm gonna kill these two vanguards, and you're gonna push up and the rest can come in. It's not like that. You're gonna put 2 shots in his ass, and he have lost like 20% of his health or something. They gonna turn around and they're gonna kill you. It's not fun to play in a tank anymore. At least that's what I heard from all the vehicle players. On top of that, the Dalton, like in the past, it was OP because it had like an area of effect range. But the Dalton was an anti-vehicle weapon, and what it was able to do, it was able to one-shot ESFs. The thing was that it had travel time and drop, bullet drop, so it was very skillful to use. So you really needed to practice. And now they made it so that it is a 2-shot kill on ESFs. So they totally fucked that up, to say, to just say it, because all the lib pilots they were angry. What also happened was the Tank Buster got nerfed. And yes, the Tank Buster was the nose gun of a lib, which was able to bust tanks. And it wasn't able to bust tanks anymore. It's more like a tank tickler now. And yes,
sounds nice.
The Tank Buster was maybe a bit too strong before, but the way that the amount of nerf it got is really too much. So you can see on YouTube these Dalton, these Liberator montages, and it's just really beautiful to see how a guy in a lib can, with all the hundreds and thousands of hours he put into a lib, can be effective with it. Switch seats, kill an ESF, get back in the driver's seat or the pilot seat, and fly It's just beautiful. It's baffling to me. And they really ruined a complete playstyle, and also for the tanks. They just ruined the vehicle gameplay. And all the all the vehicle players, they said, okay, Daybreak, what have you done? This is not nice. It felt good. Everyone was angry at Daybreak, and they just make the meme out of it for some reason. And now they actually revert it somewhat. The thing is, what also has been nerfed is the damage multiplier, for which when you shoot a vehicle in the back. It used to be that if you shoot a vehicle in the back, it's like damage resistance. It's like minus damage resistance, so it takes 2 times. So it's 2 times the damage basically in the back. So if if your tank shell does 1000 damage and the back is like minus 50%, so it's kind of 2000 damage, even though it's not. It's the other way around.
They would die faster.
Yeah, but now they make it that it's only 1.5 times the damage. So this also getting twisted, and then vehicle players have to tell Daybreak, okay, this is also not what we want. So it's basically always, they maybe do 1 step forward and 2 steps back, or in this case 2 steps forward and 1 step back. I think they really need to listen more to the actual vehicle players in the community, because if you look at those Daybreak community streams, the actual skill of the people that work at Daybreak, there is no skill there apart from Drew. Rel is also plays the game. He has some skill, I guess. But Drew actually plays on Jaeger. He plays with some outfits. And, he's actually involved in the community, and I really like that. But if you see Paul play, and I don't want to say I'm not happy that he's in the team, but if you see these other guys play Planetside, they don't even know how to hold a mouse. Then, if they don't know how to hold a mouse, how can you expect someone that doesn't know how the game works to balance a game? They don't know it better than people who play 2000 hours in a vehicle. It's completely against any logic. So they need to take a step back in that regard and ask the community what they need to do with the game, and they will help them. The community will really help them.
If the developers aren't going to play the game that they're making, they should at least listen to what the community is saying, because the community and the player base are the ones who are actually playing the game. They're the ones testing these things.
Yes.
And if they say something's unbalanced, just because you don't think it's unbalanced, it is unbalanced. So, I mean, in those cases, you have to know, like, some of the developers, I mean, they're not that into gaming. They're into making games, but they're not that much into playing them sometimes. And they're not even into playing their own game. But they have to learn to listen to what the community is saying, because they are the ones playing the game. And they are the ones that know what is wrong. They know what the balance issues are. At least, most of the players have been playing for a while, at least.
What about the players that cry for nerfs on things that don't need nerfs?
Good one.
Well,
those people just need to play the game more and understand and ask veterans how the game works.
Yeah,
what do the developers do about that, though?
A lot of people think that the NC Max needs a nerf. And,
that's true.
It doesn't.
Yes, the NC Max is completely OP, and it's not even. It's not even. Yeah, but it's not that only the new players complain about it, because all maxes really are OP, but the NC Max is just,
extra OP.
I want to lift my hand up in the air, but that's a sign of something in the past that is really not accepted in today's society.
God.
So I'm not gonna do it. But NC Max is RP, and it really needs a nerf. It's really blatant.
Well, to go back to the dev team.
Yes.
I mean, I think the whole reason Rel was hired was not because he is a amazing developer, amazing programmer. Yes. He was the voice of the people. I think that's the reason behind hiring him, Because he was
Yeah.
the biggest YouTuber or something like that.
Yes,
active in the
he was the
community.
biggest YouTuber. Exactly.
Yes.
And now he's active as a developer. He's
Now he's
still
a designer. Ooh,
a designer. Okay, designer. But he's also
well,
he's important for the gameplay, right? He's also involved in gameplay decisions.
yeah, well, that's also a designer, I think.
Oh, okay.
Like he also, he obviously isn't the only one, and the player base likes to shit on Rel because they all say who Rel, Rel this, Rel did that, and I don't think Rel is the sole, to blame for all these things, but he also has a part in it, as far as I know. In my opinion, he should have just been, taken on the team as sort of community manager, because he was essentially managing the community in his videos. He was providing the content. He was, like getting everyone to talk about weapon statistics, play styles. And even though he isn't the best player, he still got people to talk about it. That was good, but his decisions as a dev sometimes are really not that good in my opinion, and also in a lot of other people's opinion.
I wonder if some of what they do is limited by, I mean, maybe some of the devs have, the right intention. They want to make the right decisions. I wonder if some of it could be Daybreak's decisions on limiting what they can do. And if Daybreak has more control over what goes into the game, maybe I wonder if everything that they make and everything they do has to go through Daybreak first. Because if Daybreak says, I don't think this is needed, or why are we spending our time and money on this? Then they're not gonna invest in something like that, because it's their developers, they have to pay.
Yeah, that's true.
And all that, they don't want to have to do that sometimes.
Yeah,
Why would
I get that. Yeah.
Why would they then decide to not work on vehicle time to kill by any, for example? I mean, do they make money if the time to kill on tanks becomes higher?
No, they make less money now.
I think so, yes, because they lost so many players.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the Daybreak might not also be as involved in the community. So if the developers see a problem, they try to fix it. When Daybreak sees this change going through, they don't know why it's going through all the time. They think maybe, why do we need this to be changed? Didn't we just change this? Like, isn't it balanced? It's fine. I don't know why this needs to be changed. Because they haven't, they don't maybe look into the community as much as the developers do. So the developers might say it needs to be changed. Developers might do what they need to change it. And Daybreak might say, but where's the money? Right?
Money. Yes.
They're in charge of, they're getting the money from this. They want to make money to continue business. That's just how their business works. I mean, they should be a bit more open to stuff, and they should see that this actually has a long-term effect on how much money they're making, if they're that interested in money. But I mean, you can't have Daybreak being a mini EA. I mean, the game has to be more important than the money, because if the game isn't good, as we've seen with recent EA games, for example, Anthem seems like was quite a cash grab, kind of. I mean, it's a bit rushed out. It has so many problems with it, and just those games that they try to make money with end up doing poorly because they didn't listen to the community. They don't work well. Battlefront 2 is a big one. They were like, hey, these are all amazing ideas for us to make a ton of money really quickly, and then their stock crashed. They lost like $3 million in like 2 weeks. They lost a ton of money.
That's a lot of damage.
So like EA is kind of starting to realize that quality has to be quality over quantity, and a lot of developers have to see that. But it's going to really take a big change, and it's either going to take a game that does really well for other developing companies to see that they need to change, or it's going to take something like really bad, like a horrible hit. People need to vote with their wallets. People need to say, this isn't right. This needs to change. I'm not putting money into this.
Yeah, but there's a difference. There's a difference between Daybreak and EA, because
there is.
EA is this you know, EA is like the Galactic Empire, you know, like all these games, you know, and all this wealth and all this bullshit, basically, you know, where they, you know, trying to take every, you know, to empty everyone's pocket. The thing is, when we don't give EA money, they won't die. You know, they will maybe think, we're gonna do something different for a year, and then all the sheep will think that we are good again. But with Daybreak, if we don't, you know, pay for the implants and all the cosmetic stuff and the pink camo,
They'll
the cat
fall
helmets,
apart.
then the Daybreak will die. It's not like they have some fucking, you know, resources behind it. At least as far as I know. They just, and also the whole vehicle stuff, that's not gonna make Daybreak money. What's gonna give Daybreak money is the implants. So I don't really think Daybreak cares about all the, you know, the vehicle stuff. That's completely the developers thing, because there's not some, you know, where you can pinch out money from some vehicle stuff.
I was looking at some Illuminati things because a big investor of Daybreak Games is a Russian owner. And I was thinking, World of Tanks is also Russian, so maybe if people stop playing tanks in Planetside, they can go to World of Tanks and spend their money over there.
Yeah.
But no, it's not the same investor, unfortunately. Yeah, memes. Anyway.
What do you mean yet?
Yeah. We had some talk about the Planetside battles or the Jaeger server, but I couldn't make it yesterday. There appears to be like a boot camp to learn to play the game to new people and also to not new people.
Yeah, basically.
Can you maybe shortly tell us what the boot camp does?
Boot camp is basically where they tell you how the game works, basically, and they also tell you, because most people have like way too high sensitivity. They have like a 10 centimeter 360 or something, and those are the players that will just run in a room and they see, you know, or 3 players run in a room and they get killed by this one annoying Beetlejuice heavy and they don't know what the fuck's going on. And then on bootcamp they basically tell you, okay, so first turn your sense down, you know, before you run into a room, look in the room, because that's what happens a lot. They don't look, they just run in. My English fucked like the game. And they will, you know, they teach you basically basic FPS skills. And that's already a big plus to any player. And then there's also obviously the whole competitive Planetside stuff, and you know, to which, you know, it's debatable to which extent it's actually like other games, because there's a lot that needs to happen before you can actually play there. You have to set up the samplers and all that stuff. There's no matchmaking system. You can't really set up a custom game. It's just you have to do everything yourself. And obviously it's based in East, like NA, on like the same server as Emerald, like that location. So for if you're not from there, it's really Hitrack can be alpha, for instance. So it's pretty difficult for some people. It's a lot different from your own region's server, and obviously also the playstyle.
Would you say that performance is better on Jaeger because you play with less people in general?
Well, obviously the frame rate is better, but the ping is shit, literally.
Yeah.
If you're not from East NA, ping is terrible. So yeah, performance in the frame rate department is better, but if you're from you know, Europe and you play on Jaeger, it varies. I have good hit rate most of the time. Well, good as in Planetside good, so it's still debatable how good it actually is. But you know, Simple Nut, for instance, has really awful hit rate most of the time. Yeah.
And
what?
Yeah.
What is low sensitivity, Brethnew?
Oh, for your mouse.
Yeah, I know, but what is low? What do you consider low?
Oh, like having to use your whole mouse pad in order to turn 360 kind of deal.
I have a 10 centimeter mouse pad. No, just kidding. Let's go on.
I have a huge mouse pad. I have a desk mouse pad.
Yeah,
My
same,
keyboard
man.
sits on it as well. Yeah.
I've been
But-
meaning to get one of those.
I think before you get an upgrade and DirectX 11, you need a gaming chair too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jaeger, so basically where all the competitive stuff happens and where the good people meet.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, but there are some matches going on. The Player Infantry League, the PIL.
Planetside Infantry League, yes.
Yeah, that's it. So if you want to check that out, it's also happening on Saturdays and Sundays, I guess. That's the competitive side of Planetside too.
Well, it's pre-season now.
Pre-season?
Yeah, it's not the actual tournament is not now. I'll have a look. Okay.
I should check that out though, because I have a lot of free time recently.
So, the Planetside Infantry League is held between the 12th and the 19th and 21st. So from 12th to 21. But there's also a third weekend now because actually a lot of teams have signed up. Let's see. Matches will be played at the weekend of the 12th and 14th of April, the 19th and 21st, and 26th and 28th. So 3 weekends. They'll be on twitch.tv/Planetside Battles. It's basically 6v6 on hacks that hug your toes. Hi ADR gamers. We're serious gaming at Lex. Yeah, but so it's 6v6. A certain rule set, no shotguns, no maxes, no... Well, actually you can use a max, but it doesn't reward the points. So, basically no one pulls a max.
You can get a max, is that for real? Not a rule
Well,
against maxes?
Yeah, you can, but it doesn't reward points, and if you die, it's like minus 10 points or 25% points, so it's really if you die with it.
Yeah, I could think if you like
Yeah, no
go to
points,
a point,
exactly.
if you go to
Exactly.
a point, you hold a point, it might be nice to have a max, but...
Yeah, maxes can't really hold a point though, so the point of maxes is not...
Yeah, okay.
I mean, yeah, you can if you're memeing, but...
I can meme,
I don't
so...
really know.
I wanted to bring this up, this whole topic about Jaeger, because and this esport league, because I'm a pretty new player, and I don't know if any more new players are watching. But I can learn a lot from see different angles, see people push, how people enter a battle, how they shoot, and they do miss some, for example, the point of view of the players, but just the way how the people walk inside the bases is just very eye-opening to me. So it might be cool if you're trying to learn the game a bit more. Also check it out. It's on twitch.tv/Planetside Battles. And you can also check their website if you Google Planetside Battles, because strange enough, they don't have a website name. They only use an IP address.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, I can link it on the chat too. Anyway, it's cool to check out. Ah, thank you.
No problem.
And there we go. I think I learned to club a lot more seals thanks to Planetside Battles.
Well, I mean, playing on live and playing on Jaeger is really different. So I mean, they don't teach you to club seals on Jaeger, obviously.
No, okay, but I mean, when I run into a building, and it's mostly about going inside bases or going inside buildings, and then they can really help you, especially in the smaller fights. Not when you're camping in the biolabs or when you're...
Well, the thing is, you just have to know your FPS basics, and then you just know where you should not go in Planetside, and you're basically good, because 95% of the player base are I don't want to say they're bad, but they are bad, Yeah. So they yeah, it's really if you know your basics, it's pretty easy in this game. People think this game, oh, I die all the time with the tanks and this bullshit. Yeah, man, come on. Just look, you're in a road. You're gonna get killed. If you stand on the road in the United States, you're gonna get fucking killed by a gun. Because they want to say, get off the road, boy. So if you are playing on Planetside, you're standing on a road. When there's like 10 vanguards around the corner, you're gonna die. And if you don't know that, then think about it. Just, don't have no head on your body. Use your brain.
Use your brain.
Yes. Use your
Very
brain and
important.
don't complain. That's what's up. Okay.
And we still have one final topic, and that's future wishes for Planetside Arena. And I want to hear from every one of you just one wish. What does the game need? What does Planetside Arena need to become that big hit or fun for you to play at?
More development time.
More time? Isn't summer long enough?
It might be. But you take a look at other games that have been in development for like, I don't know, a year or 2 years. They're really good.
Which games?
Like Apex Legends.
Only 2 years of development for Apex.
Yeah.
But
only
more
2 years
developers, so...
for one map, one game mode. That's not really. I think how good Apex is regarded as a game is more because of the hype than of how good the game actually is. Like, how much content is there really in Apex? How much content is there? Legit?
It's not about the amount of content. It's about how the game plays.
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
And right now, Planetside Arena plays very clunky.
Yes. Yes.
But I also think they don't want to spend too much time, because this is going to be like a Planetside 2.5, you know? If they really want to spend a lot of time in it, they want to release like Planetside 3, I guess.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but my thought was what they could do is assuming that they're able to make money, and this is assuming that everything goes well and that they're able to actually do this. But they could every like 3 years release a new Planetside game that's just like the huge open battles. Like it's the real Planetside, kind of experience and everything. And then after that, maybe a year after that, release an arena style game, so that players who like the more arena type game modes can be in the Planetside franchise and still play those game modes that they enjoy. If they're not interested in the big squad play and huge, massive, if that's just too much for them, or it's just too much detail and all that. But I think there's real potential in a really cool Planetside 3, like a futuristic, huge battlefield kind of game. It would be awesome if they can get something like that as a polished and working thing. But Planetside Arena, it all falls on how Planetside Arena does.
I mean, it would be. I don't even know if I think it would be good or not, but I think that's really too high of an expectation to have right now. There's like 3,000 players online in Planetside 2. And so the thing is to hope for. Sorry, my nose is a bit laggy. Man, I think to hope for Planetside and Daybreak to release, to have a solid release schedule for games in the Planetside universe is really not gonna happen. I think. Like, it's even debatable how Apex Legends, falls into this whole, how it influences Titanfall. So to even think that Planetside Arena will help, make a sort of 3-year schedule of releasing games is that's like in my opinion, that's just fantasy. That's like Harry Potter style of it's not gonna happen. Because, and also this, I think it's much more important to make sure that Planetside is handled well. That's not being done at the moment. We already have a game which has basically all the ingredients to work. The only thing that is not working is how the devs handle the game, and how some of the people play the game. Because there's also a big problem, I feel, with people that overpop on fights, that zerg. And this is completely not in the hands of the... Well, it's part of the problem that the devs implemented, because Lattice incentivizes zerging. But really, players need to stop fucking pulling maxes. They need to stop putting 80% overup on a base with 10,000 prowlers, on a base. Yeah, seriously, fuck that shit, I hate it. It's the worst. They really need to make some incentive for people to not zerg. And then I was in a stream a couple of days ago, and I was talking to this guy, and I said, "Why do you zerg?" "Yeah, we're having fun." And he was already very defensive about, what I was telling him. And it's just really weird talking to those people that only say, "We are having fun. I don't need to look at my playstyle. It's fun for us, so we're gonna do it." Yeah, but look on the other side. We only have 3,000 players, and if you zerg a whole lane, you cut off the warp gate, 1/3 of the server is gonna think, "Fuck this game. We're gonna play Apex Legends because there's no overpop there." We can club seals with us three and actually do something. So yes, of course, high C. And don't tell me I'm an idiot, by the way. Yeah, you can counter the Zerg, but how is that gonna work if there's like only bats in the server, except for maybe one squad of good guys? They need to get their shit together and stop Zerging. It's a big problem, I think.
I mean, if all players were tactical smart, they won't do zerging, because they would go for different fronts, different bases. But I think,
well, they should just give an XP. Say, okay, if you're in this hex with 80%, you get minus 50% XP. Boom.
Okay, that could work.
And then it's over.
I don't know, man. It's not. XP does give some incentive to also go to a base, for example.
Go do whatever you want, Billy.
But yeah, I don't know. You also get like small rewards when, for example, joining a squad or platoon.
Then
not everybody's joining a squad still.
I see. If you say that I don't have a clue what I'm talking about, then point it out. Because if you're just gonna say you don't have a clue, then you're not being taken seriously, because you don't say anything which I can, read and actually talk about. So, you have to give something more for me to, take you seriously. Billy boy.
It's all okay.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so Brethnew wants more time for Planetside Arena.
Yeah.
What do you want, SpartanSlash?
I don't know. I think the other game modes is what I really want. I want to see more than the Battle Royale. And I want to still be able to have that big scale squad play feeling, but with a more balanced, jump into the game mode play, and still have that total huge war.
So you want...
I want the Planetside experience in an arena type. I don't want an arena type game mode in the Planetside universe. I want a Planetside game, a Planetside experience in an arena type game.
So you want Massive Clash, is what you're saying?
Yes, I want Massive Clash to work well, and yeah, I want Massive Clash to work well, and to be a way for more people to get into the Planetside franchise. And most of all, I want this game to succeed, so there's at least a possibility of a proper Planetside, a proper sequel to Planetside 2, a Planetside 3, with an updated engine, like this wonderful, maybe even destruction physics would be awesome, even though that would be horribly demanding on a PC.
Yeah,
I don't think
Battlefield
that's
does
good.
it.
Battlefield does it, but Battlefield only has 6 matches.
That's true.
Not 1,000, in
Yeah,
a
but
game.
that's not realistic. This game has a completely different engine. How do you want to, there's already so many issues with this game. Why would, there was the last week, there was talks about ray tracing in Planetside. Like, all those
Wait,
things.
really?
Yeah,
that's
I
not
heard
a
it.
good idea.
I heard the topic fell once, but ray tracing and all this, this, what is it, Levolution or however the crap is called. What are we talking about? This is fucking Planetside. This game runs on a 15-year-old DirectX version. It's just not happening. So
I
it's
think what we need is that we need that time for Planetside Arena to kind of bring hype towards a possible Planetside 3 and kind of give them enough money so they can rework the engine and bring more stuff online that will allow them to possibly get something. I mean, destruction physics aren't necessary. It would be cool, but it's definitely not necessary. I think what really, unfortunately, a lot of people are like, hey, this game looks fun, but it doesn't look graphically good. I don't want it. And unfortunately, that's kind of a lot of people's mindset sometimes when buying into a game, is they want the coolest, most beautiful, most cinematic experience they can get. And then they're disappointed when they get the games because they're like, these aren't even fun. So why did I get it? Like, for example, Anthem is beautiful. It looks awesome. I was like, that looks great. It looks like a kind of a cool sci-fi, the jetpack. That looks awesome.
It looks cool, but
and then the gameplay is just repetitive. It's horrible. I wouldn't even recommend the game if I hadn't got it with my Origin subscription. I wouldn't have even bought it. But there's so many problems with new games that one thing for Planetside Arena to do well, people are going to have to realize that it's about gameplay. I mean, most people know it's about gameplay, but when they're looking at new games, they look at graphics more than gameplay because that's what companies try to show off.
Not always.
Well,
I mean, story is optional. Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally true.
But
I mean,
take Minecraft. I mean, that game looks terrible, and
it does.
It's literally the best game ever made.
It is the best game ever. Whoever just said no, was I'll just say
That's
no?
me. No, Minecraft's shit.
Minecraft's just the best game ever made. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
I think if part of it, I mean, I watched, I looked back on the E3 presentation of Anthem, and it looks nothing like the game release. I mean, I know people were mad when they removed some puddles in Spider-Man, but this is totally different. They changed the entire skybox was way different. The amount of foliage and plants and everything also so different. Like, there's a huge difference. Everything looks so much more vibrant and lively in the game trailers that they show, and they say things like real gameplay footage, right? They say things like that, and then you get the game and it's totally different. You can't say real gameplay footage if it's not footage of the finished product. It's not footage. You can say in-engine footage, as it's in-engine, so this is what it could look like, or work in progress. You can't go out and say actual gameplay footage if it's not actual gameplay footage of the final product, because you don't have the final product. Even if it is how it looks at the moment, you have to make sure that it says work in progress instead of advertising it as the final product. You can't doing things like that kind of throws people off. It's a part of the reason that people are like excited and the hype is built up, and then once the release hits, people are disappointed. If people aren't expecting much, you can wow them, right? Mm-hmm. So, for example, if people are expecting a trash experience from Planetside, and then the reviews are all like, this game is amazing, right? If that were to happen, people would be like, okay, that's cool. It's awesome. But I mean, unfortunately, sometimes for paid games, the best thing to do is to kind of cheat your way out of it and make it look better than it is in all these trailers and hype it up way more so people pre-order. And once people pre-order, you've got them. You already got their money, right? Even if they hate the game, you have their money. So
and that's why free offering dumb.
It's either show the truth and show what's actually happening and what it actually looks like, or what it looks like, or what's bad. Like, you know, what do you want to show them? Do you want that money, or actually someone in chat just mentioned Apex. Wonderful example. Apex, there was nothing beforehand. No one knew anything about it. They asked a few streamers to play it before it was released, and now the game is like #1 on Twitch. So
yeah, it goes hard.
They kind of have to think about how they do their marketing and how they present the game to people. If they're presenting cool edited footage with no HUD and it's like, wow, this is how it looks, or if they could, you know, have some streamers, you know, get a few streamers to play the game like Apex did. There's so many better ways to, you know, market the game.
Well, it is obviously better to market the game than to not market the game. And I think Daybreak needs to understand that they shouldn't not market the game. You know? It's just so obvious. I don't get it. There must be a community manager or someone that knows how to do this. You know, it's just ridiculous. I don't get it. They're a professional company. At least they want us to think that they are professional.
Professional.
And
professional.
they don't seem to understand it. Like, come on, you know, do something with it. Have a clear plan. You know, have some advertising about it. Get people to know it, and make sure that people are gonna play this stuff. So you get your money and people have fun. So yeah,
I had like
need to get the shit together.
One problem. Planetside 2, when it came out in 2012, had good reviews. It was free to play, and no downsides. But still, did it have downsides at the time? It was new. It had scale no one had ever seen before.
And the performance was even worse.
Performance was not good because it tried to be as beautiful as, for example, Crysis at the time. Okay, there are downsides. There are downsides, but in general, the ID, it looked good. It was free, and yeah.
And barely anyone could run it.
Okay, barely anyone. That's a good one.
And
but
even,
everybody saw
the reviews
that as an
were good.
upside, though.
Yeah, but
when nobody could run it, they're like, they were like, who's gonna talk?
Yeah, go ahead, Tal.
It doesn't matter if there's like, there could be 200,000, you know, good points about the game. If only like 10% of the people that have a PC can actually play it, then your game still won't be played. So it's just, you know, get the game to work and then make the game good, then advertise, and then people are gonna play it. It's just in that order. If you advertise a game to no end, like even more than fucking Call of Duty and all that, you know, that's bullshit. But no one is able to play it, then nobody's going to play it. So they really need to prioritize their stuff and, you know, get it together. You know, make something out of it. And instead of this dumb, you know, all this BR and then the laggy and whatever, you know, they are doing there with the tricycles in the office and they big, woo, you know, come on, man, you know, be serious about it.
Spending their money on?
Yeah.
Spending
Yeah,
their money
apparently.
on tricycles.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous to me, man. I think at 8, I was already, you know, cycling on an actual bicycle.
That's my wish.
Still doing it in their 30s. My goodness.
My wish for Planetside Arena. Bicycles in game.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
awesome.
all I want.
I'll stay at Planetside for God's sake.
Yeah.
I don't want that orange skybox with my tricycle.
I mean, it would be cool. Also, Smolek says we got OMFG. Oh my fucking god! The downgrade of the graphics, right? Did anyone play with the original graphics, like with the video physics stuff?
It's not possible. It's taken out of the game.
Not anymore, right? Well,
No,
but
it's still
back
out of the
then,
game.
back in the days.
Back in the day, people did it. Obviously, we had like a 10.5 gigahertz CPU or something.
CPU, yeah.
I don't know. People did it, but I mean, they took it out and they talked about it getting back in, but yeah, they were still not sure about it. They said, yeah, we're gonna bring old biolabs back and the old high, like ultra settings, and then they said like, maybe not. So we still have to look how it's actually gonna pan out and what they're gonna do.
I've got one question for all of you, for Tel, Brett, and Spartan. Do you all use Intel CPUs? Or AMDs?
Yeah, I do.
Yes,
I do not have an Intel.
You all got Intel, okay? Because I've got the feeling that I'm an AMD player, and I always have had AMD, except for my laptops.
Faber.
Yeah.
I don't have Intel.
I don't have Intel. Okay, so we're the AMD boys. But I really feel that I've got a quite top line CPU, but everybody's talking about I can easily get to maybe even 200 frames, but I struggle to get 100 with an AMD CPU.
Really?
Yeah, it's a shame.
AMD CPUs aren't meant for gaming. They're meant for like being able to record and stream and have Discord. Like they can do more processes at once.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're optimized for video editing and like 3D modeling and stuff. That's what I heard.
So yeah, they're a lot better for that kind of stuff than Intel. Intel is really good at doing one or two processes really well.
Yeah,
and then AMD can do a lot more at the same time, kind of. So it's nice if you're like a streamer. It's wonderful to have an AMD processor, or recording or editing and stuff like that. But when it's when it comes to what do you call it? Darn, I've just forgotten again. I've done this a few times. But when it comes to gaming and stuff, Intel is where Intel shines there. A lot more.
Especially in this game.
Oh yeah, especially because DirectX 9 is like really, it's really GPU heavy, right? Or is it processor heavy? It's processor heavy, correct?
CPU is processor.
Yep. So that's CPU. It's really CPU heavy, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
so with DirectX 11, some of that will be moved over to the GPU. So
apparently,
less of it will be all forced on the CPU. So if because I have a Ryzen 5, that's not like it's a mid range. It's basically an i5. So it's not like an i3, but it's not an i7 either.
Well,
it's that real mid range. With something that's so demanding on the CPU.
Yeah.
Once it's kind of balanced between CPU and graphics or your graphics card, it'll probably help in performance. Give you that boost since it's spread out more.
Yeah.
Instead of being so heavy on one thing.
I really hope that DirectX 11 will bring more to my AMD CPU. Feels bad, man. Anyway, I think we done all these subjects. Has anyone any questions still?
Yeah, questions and either if any of you have questions or stream chat has any questions.
Do you want serious gaming on the next podcast?
Yeah,
actually, he's welcome. He is very welcome. I would love to discuss with him.
Serious, if you are listening, or if you ever do, you are welcome.
No,
you're welcome to join this podcast.
You can take my place because otherwise I'll get thing.
Oh,
yeah,
like a boxing ring.
Not a good combination.
So Sirius is pretty much kind of the big Planetside YouTuber right now, or he's.
So watch Halo Spots guide, buddy. Maybe you can improve as a player. Actually.
Can you recommend some resource to improve my gameplay? Well.
Well, Billy, if you would stream, you could watch your own stream, I think, and then you would learn.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell out, but today I just uploaded a video on my YouTube. If you're really new to the game, how to get started with Planetside 2. So that's it's like a small video talking about all these sources and about Reddit, about Iradar's website, and Planetside battles and whatever. So
Yeah. Billy knows his stuff. Though.
I know. Well, if there's really somebody listening and he's new, there you go.
Oh yeah, I could. Brethnew told him how to shoot his gun. That's useful. Good. I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, you know what? Anytime. Come to me if you need any tips.
Sure. How do you walk?
Press W.
W. And only W. You can't use any other key. If you hit S and you're trying to retreat, just kill yourself.
It does what if I use a joystick?
Then no.
No, you can just go away. No PlanSide 4 PlayStation 4 players allowed here. No.
Controllers.
I've got like a flight stick. I got like a whole flight stick here on my desk. I can use that.
Even worse.
Cifidel asked a question.
Nice.
What if I use my? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Do you think Arena will bring players back to Planetside 2?
Ooh.
Yes.
I think it'll generate a little bit of interest for a free version of Arena. Like people might think, hey, this plays like Arena, and it's free. I could check this out before deciding to buy Arena, because I mean, provided they actually do some marketing, that's hopefully how it would go, and then they would get some new players.
But I mean, if people are seeing that, like, oh, let's just go try, and they get into Planetside 2, and the new player experience isn't exactly great, they get in, they're like, this is horrible. I bet Planetside Arena is the same if it's so similar, so I'm not going to buy Planetside Arena. So maybe they need to get that Planetside 2 new player experience working, and so people can get into the game and actually stay instead of just leaving.
Yeah,
so,
the Planetside 2's new player experience is fairly bad.
It is. I didn't know how to play when I first got the game. Also, Thel, you're right. Controllers are for racing games, and that's it.
And Halo,
pretty much.
And
Halo.
Halo.
I don't agree with Halo.
It depends. If you're playing against other controller people.
I want to say yes and no about bringing in more players, because I don't want to talk too much about Apex, but Apex it's like the brother sister game of Titanfall, and since the launch of Apex, Titanfall has had a lot more players playing again, so more attention. It went up from like 5,000 regular players to 10,000 again on PC.
So it doubled. That's pretty good.
So that would be very cool for Planetside.
But you have to consider how many people are playing Apex Legends, and how because when it double, like, how much is it right now, the actual number?
I don't know. It's a lot about in Apex.
Because let's
it
say
was what, 25 million?
Yeah, but let's say Titanfall 2 had like whatever 10,000 players. I have no clue, but let's say they had 10,000 players. Apex Legends has 25 million players, and then Titanfall 2's player base is gonna double. Now it has 20,000. It's still really, really low. So if it takes 25 million players to get 10,000 players in a game that's 3 years old, or 2 years or whatever, then how much does it take for Planetside 2 to increase in population for a game that's like 6 years old? From the influx of Planetside Arena players on an IP that is really a lot less popular at the moment. So I think you can't really say, oh, look at Apex, what happened, now look at Planetside, what's going to happen. I think there's a big difference there.
I saw it.
You make a good point.
But it could happen. It could. Apex doesn't look really like Titanfall, but still, people check it out. So let's see. Also, I'm kind of afraid that the infantry players of Planetside 2 might just, if it's good in Planetside Arena, they just might move forever away from Planetside 2 and go to Planetside Arena.
Oh yeah. No, I'm an infantry player, and I totally would.
Tank side too. We just have tanks.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to play infantry.
Tank and plane.
Tank and aircraft. That's all we have. I mean, that would be cool, but at the same time, who's going to capture bases?
No, they shouldn't do it. They should just improve the game how it is in its basis now. You know, tweak it like the community wants it and balance it, but don't bring any, take anything big or add anything big that's obviously negative. Just, if you look at what the devs put in or took out, that was big. It was most of the time it was negative. So they just need to build on the basis that they have, ask the players that know how the game works, and then do that. And don't have a big ego about, Daybreak, we know how this works. No, you don't. So ask the players, and then think about it. Just think about it and look at your own, your own future, because we are the future for you, Daybreak. If you don't make this game good, you're gonna stop paying. You're gonna get fired because Daybreak is gonna go bankrupt. And then Ralph can go back to his YouTube, or he can do something else. But if other companies look at his, his curriculum, or however you say it in English, then they think, oh, he went Daybreak. Oh, he nerfed the Dalton. Yeah, we're not gonna do this. So we take this other guy. So they really need to think about how they handle this, and then it's maybe gonna be better.
All right.
Personally, I think that the bullet penetration for NC, and then like the those what are they called, battle rifles that were added in that have those unique stuff.
Yeah, I have one of those actually. I have the obelisk.
Yeah, I think that was pretty big. Like, I think that should be like the biggest they go when it comes to new mechanics. Like, it just specific to weapons or specific to this instead of overhauling everything. Like, keep the game as it is.
Bouncing bullets.
And just balance. Yeah. And then if you want to add in something new, just do it on a smaller scale.
Also, no like Construction 2.0 anymore.
No construction.
No.
Okay.
Fuck that shit. Seriously.
I
Also,
still think construction was a bad idea.
Yeah. This. They could have done so much more instead of that shitty thing.
There's a lot of people that like construction, though. So
yeah,
maybe we're in the minority.
I actually thought construction was kind of fun when I tried it, except that I kind of suck at it, and it didn't last very long. But it was kind of cool to set up a little base in a strategic spot and use it as a little like launching point for attacks. I thought that was kind of cool. Until I realized I could be shooting people, so I left.
Yeah.
Do you get any XP from building stuff?
I don't think so.
So I mean, maybe it's not really incentivized for people to do it. People don't want to do it because they're not getting certs from going and doing construction. You're helping people out, but that's about it.
Yeah, there has to be more incentivization.
Risk reward.
Do you get XP when people spawn at your base?
Don't really know. Maybe the router.
Routers,
Okay.
I think.
I think so.
The router.
I think those things are a lot more important than like actual bases. So router is really good because you can, with a beacon you can only spawn in your squad mates. With a router you can basically spawn in everyone. So you have a router team in your platoon. If you do ops, for instance, on live servers, you just send your router team forward. Put it on a roof of a double stack on a gen building or something. Boom, 100 players. And and at the same time, I want to not promote overpopping, but it's actually pretty handy if you're doing something serious against another serious platoon or something. So yeah.
I like the routers, yeah. Good addition to the game.
I mean, I think so as well.
I think we're out of questions, by the way.
I mean, I was just going to say the routers are one of those things that don't change the actual gameplay. They just kind of add on to it, you know?
Which is good, because if they continue to change the gameplay, eventually you have an entirely different experience. So you'll lose people who enjoy Planetside 2 because it's a different game at that point. So
I suppose
adding stuff is kind of what they need to do. Is they need to not rework anything. They need to add on to it and have more fun, interesting ways to change the gameplay up without having to entirely change gameplay systems.
Yeah, like allow the older players to play the way that they've always played, but then newer players can play in a new way.
Mm-hmm. And it gives variety in fights. You might have a fight where you had to protect one Sunderer because it's the only one you can get right now, because the next one is on its way, but it's a bit wild, and you gotta protect that Sunderer to keep as many people as you can at that base. And maybe you have a battle where you have 10 Sunderers there, and you don't have to worry about your Sundies, and you're more worried about capturing points. And you kind of need to have different options for people to fight instead of the same thing every base, which there already is a lot of variety in battles and stuff, but there could be more.
Yeah. I think that's kind of it, guys. We're really talking for a bit longer than we were planning to do. So we're gonna wrap up. That's really fun, though. It's really fun. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's start again with Tel. Where can we find you after this podcast?
Well, where can you find me? I'm on Twitch. It's Twitch TV / Tel, the name.
Mm-hmm.
Just
they can see it above your picture. Yeah, over there.
Oh yeah, you can just click on it.
Nice.
Just click on the name. Yeah,
Technology voice.
You probably better know how Twitch works than I do. I also make videos on YouTube from time to time. Yeah, it's if you click on the name, there's in the panels, there's a YouTube link as well. So that's where you can find me. There's also a Twitter link, and a Discord even. So if you wanna, have those conversations about whatever you want about maxes that are OP or not OP, you can also join the Discord and have a little talk about it.
Yeah.
And maybe you can change my mind. But yeah, that's me. So yeah, the next question.
Okay, Spartan, tell us.
The Spartan, if you same as what you did with Thel, you can click on my name there on Twitch chat. I put a little greater than symbol so you can see it. You can just click on that. Feel free to follow me on Twitch. I'm planning on doing some Twitch streams a bit more often. Bunch of planets. I'll probably do mostly Planetside and Star Citizen on Twitch. You can check out my YouTube channel, which is SpartanSlash is all it is. Here, I'll click. You can just search me up. It's pretty easy to find me. You will find all of my cousin's videos first because he puts my name in them. But if you filter the channel, it'll be easy to find. Subscribe to me there. I do. I'm working on getting some VR videos done. That's a lot of fun to edit and do. And I'm possibly doing another channel for cinematics, which will have Planetside cinematics for sure.
Do you have observer cam or something?
What do you mean?
Do you know what observer camera is?
Like for the VR?
No, for Planetside 2.
Oh, like that. I don't have one. You can ask for one, I guess.
You can go to the Reddit PSB OVO, and then you can request observer cams. There's also a format for it, so they will tell you what you need to do to get it, basically.
What are those and how do they work?
The observer camera is like a vehicle in Planetside 2, but you can't see it and you can't shoot and stuff like that. But you can fly around very accurately and, turn off your HUD and stuff.
It's what they also use to spectate the Planetside Battles matches. So if you, if you want to see how it works, you can go Planetside Battles and they spectated through that because there's no spectator mode to watch players POVs.
And
Okay, I'll look into that.
Nico101 also has like these cinematic modes on his YouTube channel where he does flying out in the map and just shows how beautiful the game can be sometimes.
Oh yeah, the game is beautiful. If you can ignore the frame rate.
Yeah,
but it's a wonderful game. Yeah, and you can if you're ever in game. I have a Discord as well. It's linked in most of my videos. You can see it there. But I'm on every so often. I play Brethnew Sovereignty on the Emerald server. So if anyone else plays Emerald and joins the Discord, feel free to join, and I'll definitely record with whoever's on, depending on what I'm recording. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay, one day maybe Planetside Arena virtual reality with SpartanSlash.
I know you can get. I know there's software I can get that lets me play.
Really?
3D renders them. I've actually been considering it so I can try Planetside 2 in VR because I think that would be awesome.
That would be cool. Try it out, man.
I really want to try it. It's like $40 to get the software. And I need a GPU upgrade first because my computer my 3GB 1060 cannot run VR right now. I cannot do it. I can barely run Battlefield, so I'm gonna need a GPU upgrade first. A bunch of other accessories for Vive and all that stuff that I'm still on my list. It's on my list. I think it'll be cool to play things that aren't meant for VR, and VR just be an awesome experience, especially Planetside, just with the big battles and the tanks and the hope I don't pass out from jetpacking.
From motion sickness because of the frame rate.
Yeah. I already get motion sick because my graphics card can't render everything that much, and it doesn't like it. It's horrible sometimes. Beat Saber's pretty much all I can play right now. A few other things, but so yeah, check out my channel. Follow me on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, all that stuff. I think Brethnew is next now.
Yeah.
Where do we find you, Brethnew?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitch. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I post YouTube videos like just my thoughts on stuff, or just I might be recording gameplay and cut that up. You can follow me on Twitter. I have a Twitter handle. It's the same as right above my head. It's just Brethnew. I will post a link to my YouTube in chat for y'all. And yeah, I use Twitch or Twitter mainly to just update on live stream stuff. But other than that, you can't really find me anywhere else.
By the way, back next week with the podcast. Brethnew?
Yeah, I will be.
Okay, then I'll be also be hosting it on your Twitch channel. So please give Mr. Brethnew a follow so you can be up to date when he goes live for his streams and also the podcast.
Thank you.
That's about that. About the Spotify stuff coming soon. I don't know where, but we will also keep you up to date. You can maybe join my Discord. I will always post stuff up there. The Gentleman's Club. And about me, I will be posting some YouTube videos tomorrow again. It's about Planetside 2. Is it free to play? So that might be actually, is it pay to win? Quite an interesting topic to me. It isn't. Short story long. Long story short.
Oh, spoiled.
Spoiler.
Yeah, don't watch
Oh, now I don't have to watch the video.
Yeah, that's it.
No. He already said it.
Yeah, everyone who's watching the stream doesn't have to watch, but
yeah, exactly.
But it's
I'll be sure to watch at least 10 seconds of it.
Yeah.
And I'm almost every freaking day online on Twitch. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, so you can check me out at this channel, so it's fine. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming by. I had a lot of fun today with the discussions, and again, for you guys watching or listening to the podcast, thanks for coming by, thanks for chatting today, and we will see you soon with some more Planetside content. See ya.
And we will see you, Planetside.
Planetside. Before we drop out into action. See ya.
Is that copyright?
I don't know.
What, mate?
See ya.
Damn.
Yeah.